and giving a review of the Forspoken demo. Um, so I've been hearing a lot of criticism and negativity, especially on YouTube, just online in general, about this game, this gameplay, combat mechanics, the stories, dialogue. And as someone who spent 30 plus hours in this demo and who knew nothing about this game, and literally like 3 weeks ago, I first learned about this game as the demo came out, and I kept hearing all the negativity surrounding this game. I decided to give it a try on my own and give my thoughts about it, and I just couldn't understand where all this negativity was coming from, where the hate this demo is coming from, and seeing all the criticism. I wanted to like make a video addressing that criticism of the game being taken I was in. I was seeing a lot of clips of this game, exclusive clips of the gameplay, story, dialogue, lore. I've read like the philosophy of the designers of the game, and I played this game a lot, and I'm seeing pretty much everything this demo has to offer at this point. Um, yeah, and I still want to address like some of the most common criticisms. I'm gonna start with the combat a bit, and yeah, because some of these criticisms I don't really feel are criticisms because they're just wrong. They come from people just not playing the game, just not understanding the game, right? One, the combat, the controls are clunky. Yes, they are clunky in the same sense. Playing Aurelion Soul in League of Legends is clunky, right? Yeah, I don't know if you're a League of Legends player, but if you play Aurelion Soul, you know how his combat plays is about positioning stars. And people who are new to the game are completely trash at him. People who learn to master that character are freaking overpowered. And despite the character barely having any players, it keeps getting constantly nerfed. Because those players are so good at that character, they dominate at a high level. Um, and that's how I see Forspoken is. Forspoken is like the Aurelion Soul game. What I mean by that is that it is not like any other kind of game, and because of this, it has a high skill ceiling. Um, and what that means is that people come into this game expecting something else, but expecting something else and being disappointed they don't get that, right? And they leave the game blaming the game for them not getting what they expected, when they should be changing their expectations and trying to match the play style of how the game wants you to play, how the game wants you to move. That's like what I did. Right? I played this game, I tried to combat, I tried to control. It didn't click as first, but I understood what the developers were trying to do. So it's like, let me master this, right? Let me get the flow of this combat. And everything started to make sense of that, right? And there's a lot of combat mechanics to this. Um, so one thing I recommend you do if you do start playing the demo, right? Is go to our tribe and go to tutorials. Read all of the shit, right? Because the tutorial the game gives you isn't enough. Like it's all the shit you would learn if you play the normal game, not the demo. That you will learn over time. The game doesn't give you shit, right? That's one thing you should do. Read all that shit, test it out, try it out, then go into settings and switch this the game by play balance to hard or normal, preferably hard. Because hard is where the stakes. Normal is a bit hard, the AI is a bit smarter, but AI in this game is just generally dumb. And that's on purpose, and I explain why the AI is dumb in this game. The AI in this game is generally dumb, and our hard is probably your best bet in terms of like having a super real challenge. Um, Cause the mobs are real squishy in both normal and easy, I find. And the mobs are squishy even in hard, I'm extremely over leveled. I'm level 29 on this playthrough. No, fuck, I'm not level 29. I'm level fucking 52. I think the game starts at like level 15. Not like 30 plus levels ahead of where the game fucking leaves you, starts you out as. Like, the fact that I can even die, even at level 52 against some of these mobs is insane. Because I am freaking over leveled in this game, right? So this game I don't think is as easy as people are making it out to be. I'm really fucking over leveled in this demo. So let's like explain the combat. Let me explain first. Let me explain why people feel this game is clunky. So you have three abilities, three sets of abilities at any single moment. You have support magic, attack magic, and your ultimates. So you have these three abilities for each spell type. In this demo, you have two different spell types: fire and earth, fray and silence magic. Um, and you can switch between them doing L1 and R1, right? This is what the tutorial teaches you. You do press L1 and plus R1, you switch. And you can do this instantly once you like get a good hang of it, like I'm doing right now. But mine isn't perfect because I don't really rely on this to switch, right? Well, you have three other ways to switch your abilities, which the tutorial doesn't tell you, right? Even the archive tutorial doesn't tell you, I don't think. You learn this by looking at the controls of the game, or just trying shit out and just not just running around the world blindly for 30 minutes, right? And not like exploring anything. So, like you can trace abilities through the touchpad, as I'm doing now. I switch to earth, switch to fire, like sliding right on the touchpad, I switch to earth. Sliding left on the touchpad, I switch to fire. And I assume when you get the other shit, you can slide up to switch like maybe blue and slide down to switch like maybe green or some shit like that. And so the D-pad. So the D-pad will switch between all four magic abilities. I have only two. So it switches between these two, which just makes it kind of easier. But I feel like you need to learn how to use the touchpad, get access to those abilities extremely quickly, because the D-pad starts to cycle through all four magic styles. Right. And for each magic style, your attack abilities have like three different. Right. There's three different attack magic for each magic style. And each of them has their own uses, right? There's short, which I find is extremely useful for hitting large groups of enemies at once and like knocking them down. The scatter shot, which is like for DPS and like piercing through enemies, like doing damage to multiple enemies. One combo you can use like bind, then scatter shot, like get your full damage in. Um, there's also chill shot, which is a counter. If somebody hits you while you have this on, it will push them back and has an even higher chance to knock them down, even they're vulnerable for a down attack. And that down attacks restores your HP. And if you use the calf last block, it will restore your calf meter, so you can get your block back, you get HP, and get your shield back, so you can survive longer in a fight. I'll explain what calf last block is if you don't know what that is later. But there's that, and each one has its own special effect. So like, um, is it clunky? No, it's like I'm getting used to. I can pretty much switch. So bear shot, scatter shot, show shot. Right? These are the exact same position as you play the game. So like I said before, like you're like a League player, complete noob, never played a League of Legends game, RTS game before. You don't know how to move the camera. The camera isn't clunky. Moving the camera isn't clunky. You're just trash. I was trash when I started this game because I've never played a game with radio menu like this before, where I have to quickly switch between the radio menu to like make full use of the game, right? So it's not the game's fault that you're trash, right? It's the combat isn't clunky, right? So if I switch to fire, arc slice, blast slice, reach slice, right? Switch to air, switch to air, shield shot, burst shot, scatter shot. Switch to fire, arc slice, blast slice, reach slice. Switch to air, shield, burst shot, shield shot, scatter shot, right? And the more you play the game, because I haven't played in a while, the more this sticks into your mind, you can very quickly learn this, right? I know bind is always going to be top. I just switched to bind in my support very extremely quickly. The Chandra is like the top right, top right, top right, that's right, top right. No leeches right. I know I think screen is bottom right. I know that explosive trap is bottom left. I know the turret is left. I know what's the last one? Implant is top left, right? So I know these for both abilities, and there's gonna be more abilities in this game, right? And I know all these places because I played the game. I can quickly switch to them when needed, right? And that just takes playing the game, and obviously I played for 30 hours, so I've learned this. I someone who's played this demo for 30 minutes and calling it a day, not exploring the combat, not really doing shit. So you're gonna be like, oh, this is so clunky. Like, yeah, no shit is clunky. You're trash. Like, it's supposed to be clunky if you're trash, like anyone would be, because it's a completely new game design for most people. It's not a God of War. It's not a Ghost of Tsushima. We show like have the same frame set, combat dodge. You tap this. circle, attack, etc. It's the same kind of mindset in the game, but these developers are trying to do something new, so it kind of sucks. People are trashing that because they have like a unique and new approach, right? So like hinders unique game design, and I don't really like that. Because that's the part that pisses me off the most about the criticism for this game. That these developers don't know what you're doing, or that the combat is clunky. When the combat is probably the strongest part of this game. And most people don't understand the combat. And that's a big part of the fault of the game, I would say. The tutorial. I don't think it's the fault of the demo. Screw that. I think the demo sought out to do what it wanted to do. It wanted to be a way for players to explore the combat of the game before the game got released. And I think it succeeded in doing that because you have all the tools to explore the combat, this open area, you can explore the traversal, etc. Or the game isn't meant to be. I mean, this demo isn't meant to be. It's a tutorial for the game. It's not supposed to be a full tutorial. It's not supposed for you to go through this game, playing for 30 minutes and fully understanding like all the aspects of this game. Because you're not playing for 30 minutes in the actual game, right? The actual game, you don't even get fire magic till like 5 hours into the game. But you have 5 hours to fully learn your abilities, right? This combat didn't fully click to me, so like 10 to 20 hours in. Even still, I was still learning new shit. The game, this demo doesn't have time to give you a full ass tutorial because I remember this tutorial was so like TGS and was like it's 4 months. I mean, this demo was 4 months old. So it's like it's obviously not meant for that. That's why it is what it is. Like people, I don't. I mean, I can't really speak much about it. Like the game demo wasn't meant to be a tutorial for you to play it, right? So yeah. So one other criticism here is that combat has no weight, and that isn't true. That's just not true. So that doing this all day has no weight. As well as so most people just playing easy, right? I'm like 40 levels ahead, so I can do this. I'm like in such a like level 15 to 20. I'm like level 52. I can do this against even these mobs on hard. Some mobs I can't do this on. FYI, that's just me asking to die, even like beside being over leveled. I think comments of this game I can like be so overloaded, but I still have a hard time against certain bosses. Mobs if I play badly, right? If I play badly, but it's like here, I'm like, I can just kill this guy. There's almost people do when you see those two kills. They're just doing this constantly, and they get low grades, low style grades, and then you find that the game has some, but the game is boring. All you do is press R2. When you're playing on easy mode, just spam tapping R2, which wouldn't even work in like the most of the game, right? If you do this, if you try to do this in hard mode at the start of the game, these people have so much health, it's just ineffective and there's no hit stun to this, right? There's only hit stun to your out two for the first and last attack. So in between the first and last attack, there's no hit stun for out two abilities, out tapping out two abilities. Now, where the impact comes from ooh, is when you hold your abilities, right? So you have three different stages for attack magic. Stage one, stage two, stage three, and each stage has more impact than the other, right? And that's for all your attack magic. So stage one, stage two, stage three. More impact. I was, so let me do this now. The water really shows the impact. Breast rock 3. Um, so there's one, two, three. Yeah, I also wanted to say your abilities do affect you as well. They don't do damage here, but you will get like hits done, right? One way to avoid this is to parkour right after using an ability. I did it wrong. If you parkour back, oops, sorry. Yeah, you can dodge abilities that way. So just parkour after using an ability if it's right next close to you, and you will dodge like a hit stun for that of your own ability. Your parkour works on your own abilities as well. It will dodge them for you, right? And I'm taking mine, so obviously the game has no impact because you're playing it wrong, right? Because you're not even charging your abilities. You're not using spell combos to get like charge out trees. Um, well, speaking of charge out trees, let me talk about spell combos for example. Um, So you one complaint you hear is that, oh, you don't need to support spells, you're useless. Plays the people playing on easy mode of the game. Um, don't really even understand the combat. Going like start with F. You don't really need to use support spells, right? So you have one benefit of using a support spell aside from the utility of the support spells in general. First place is when you use a support spell, you get like an instant level 3 attack magically. So I can dash into them, heal off them, press R2, instant level 3. That's a lot more damage and DPS than just tapping R2 at each enemy. Right, this is gonna take forever. If you do tap 2 at an enemy, after the end of that combo chain, you have a R3 attack that you can use, right? Right, you have an R3 attack. So one, two, three, boom, R3. Right. So you want to do that, make use of your full charge abilities. One thing you can do is dash, full charge R3. And there's one more way to do that, and that is um hold R3, parkour, continue holding it, R3. I remember R2, sorry, R2. So hold R2, parkour in the middle of that charge, full R2 charge, right? So where's this guy? Also, one thing you might find useful, especially against flying enemies, is when your rock range abilities are not auto aim. Even if you have a lock on, they do not auto aim. You gotta charge them, cause there are certain situations where you don't want the computer auto aiming for you. Your fire abilities, on the other hand, are all auto aim. Which why a lot of people probably find using the fire easier, cause like I said, they're just bad. I mean, it's more easier to use an ability that will auto aim for you, but it's more efficient to use your air abilities, especially against flying monsters who generally are really fast, so you can aim to where they are going and then hit them when they get there, essentially. Especially if everyone's scatter shots, like hit more. Oops, my bad. Scatter shots like hit more where enemies move to that. Right. So, aiming is important in this game. Is you can also hit behind enemies with burst shot that will do extra damage. So people say the combat is easy, like they aren't doing any of this shit. It's like they're like completely trash. Like the combat is easy, but they are trash. like like that's not a offense to them. They just haven't played the game very long, right? And yeah, and they're playing on easy mode most of the time. There's a complexity to the combat, and these malls, at least in this area, are generally easy. Even the top malls are kind of easy. I don't know if the full game will have harder malls, but I feel like at least the mobs in this demo are not meant to be too difficult, right? Aside from like maybe that final boss there. Um, yeah, especially these human regular slash human mobs. They're supposed to be really easy as fuck. The AI is supposed to be simple. But this is a filler in the open world that you just supposed to kill easy, like complete trash. And the AI of this game is meant to be simple, right? For most of the mods. For the simple mods, the AI is simple. For the difficult and hard mods, the AI is complex. What I mean by that is that the AI complexity scales with the mob difficulty. Right, so as simple as mob like this nigga, right here, like it's gonna take forever for this guy to hit me even in hard mode. Like this is like I'm standing there, right. This nigga, it's taking forever to hit me, and it's the reason for that, cause you're not gonna face these guys one on one, right? You're probably gonna be facing hundreds of these guys, 50s of these guys, 20 of these guys, right? Because you're walking around the world there and you can feel like see 10 of these guys and they ain't doing much. Because you're gonna be facing more of these guys at the exact same time. Now these crocs on the other hand, you do not face. They are a bit more advanced, right? You can't just do what you do with the other guy, but they're not like this. They're not as smart as either. They're a bit more advanced, and the deer is a bit more advanced. Like different modes have different advanced AI to them. The humans are like the simplest. They just stand there. The crocs are a bit harder because they're a bit tankier. They have different aspects to them, each of them all. But you know, you like let me go to this specific area with like 425 different crocodiles, right? I just want to give you an idea of why the AI of this game is made to be simple. Because cause the AI of this game isn't like any crazy thing crazy. So you have so much like mobility, and you just hold circle to dodge. And blue, you're kind of like freezing like an Elden Ring where you got time to dodge perfectly, right? But in an Elden Ring, you're not fighting 40 different crocodiles all at once, right? There's not gonna be a situation like that. It's where you're fighting 40 of the same shit all at once. So the game mechanics are based on an AI intelligence, are like based on this fact that you are going to be fighting a bunch of these damage enemies all at once. And the less likely you are to fight the same enemy all at once, um, the more advanced the AI is. Like mini bosses have like smart AI. Bosses where you'll be facing one on one have smart AI. These mobs where you're going to be facing 20 of them can't have smart AI. You wouldn't have the space to attack, right? Right? I tried to attack there. I tried to attack there. So I got like so you gotta be constantly repositioned, which you even against these trash mobs who have dumb AI. Imagine if they have smart AI and they really could match up to your speed, how much more annoying and difficult that would be. But you are a mage, you're supposed to be constantly on the move anyways in this game. That's how you should be playing. You shouldn't be playing as like a samurai who's standing still, doing this, dodge, doing this. No, you are supposed to be on the move, constantly moving, even abilities, like you dodge proactively. Like some complaint I've heard is that, well, I don't see where the attacks are coming from, right? Because the game doesn't expect you to stand still. It's not designed like that. It wants you to be on the move. So I attack here. I am not standing there like a dumbass, right? I don't know who's behind me, so I move. I use my ability. I move to different locations, continue attacking, right? Right, and this is why the lock on isn't that useful and like against fighting multiple enemies, right? The demo teaches you how to lock on when you fight your first mini boss. So that's why the lock on is useful. When fighting against one-on-one enemies, so you can do these kind of movements without losing track of that one enemy. If you're against multiple enemies like these, lock-on isn't that useful. And I don't think it's meant to be used to it. That's why you have like a soft lock-on to switch between all the different enemies in when fighting multiple. And when it comes to like ring ability, you can like lock on quickly to like get like a good view of the enemy. You can press L3, boom, kills on the enemy. Um, L3, yeah. So that's something you can do as well. So is the combat easy? I don't personally think so. Um, I think it's can get really hard and complex. You do not just spam one ability. All these abilities have a purpose. Um, this ability have a purpose. Like let me go to one place and specifically. I'm gonna go to the map. The support spots all have a purpose. You can't just play the game, especially on hard mode, without making use of them. It's gonna make your life more difficult for no reason. For example, there are a bunch of flying mobs here, right? There's there. So like, what's the good against flying mobs? This plant. So now, how this plant here, it can hit stun them. Let's see if I can get this there. Yeah. Instantly dead, cause I placed the plant there. Imagine how difficult it would have been if I didn't use that. Right? If I didn't use that. Right? A lot more difficult. Because you're supposed to use your abilities. Right? Don't be that guy who's thinking just think you just spam R2 because you're playing easy mode. Okay, here's another thing. Well, yeah, cop inside. Different enemies have different aspects to them, right? So this guy right here, his thing is that he can regen. I mean, he's strong against very much, so very much doesn't do much damage to him, but he regens. And the way to counter his regen is to poison him. You have the ability to do that with spray magic with implant. Implant will poison. Oh, yeah, implant will poison him. So even though he's resistant, you still want to switch to earth, and switch back to fire where he's not resistant against. And then you want to switch back to earth, so maybe like keep it on implant, right? But if you use attack magic, while you, I'll talk about that later, but just want to showcase that, yeah, you want to switch to Earth, poison him, like stop the regen a bit, then switch to Fire, because that's what it's vulnerable. See, the game benefits you from by switching your different abilities, because different enemies can be different, resistant to different things, right? And that's like what I want you to understand is that the combat is a bit complex, it's tactical, it's fast paced, it's not simple. Let's kill this guy. But if you use a support ability, right, it goes on cooldown. Right now it has spell auto switching, so auto switch to off cooldown, not off cooldown ability. But you don't always want to have that on, right? Especially depending on the combat situation. Because if you keep this on this here, right here, it will cooldown go by faster. Like if you switch it off, the cooldown will go out way longer. Like it won't go by as fast. So you want to use a specific support ability over and over again. You want to stay on here, even though it's on cooldown. Two, if you use an attack magic ability, you hit someone with it, it will make the cooldown for that support spell you have equipped go faster. Um, and then this is talking about this is like so much complexity to this combat I'm just talking about. Like my previous video I did on this where I didn't record well, was probably over an hour long and like probably like 50 to 40, 50 minutes of it was probably just in the combat, right? As there's also precision counters. Yep, precision counters. Just like that. Um, and I even talked about that because you can put spec into your gears that freezes of electrocute enemies. I haven't like done too. I haven't really done precision counters too much. I just try to dodge. Yes, especially as in hardcore, getting hit can do a lot of damage to you. It's just safer to dodge. If you do get hit, precision counter is very useful to do if you know what you're doing, if you time it correctly. So this is one aspect of the combat as well. Like I said, go into archive, set the tutorial, read everything. Those different aspects of the game. I think one thing I forgot to mention for the spell switch is you have like 9 support abilities, at least 9. Right, so you have this. So this, if I was on Earth, right, this will switch me to Fire. Sorry, Earth. That switches me to Fire and Poison enemies. I mean, Fire. So these abilities are L1, R1, and Circle for the Square ability. L1, R1, and Square for the Fire ability. Switch to Fire. You can learn this in your skill tree. You already have the L1 plus R1 and Circle when you start the demo. Plus L1 plus R1 plus Square, you gotta learn with your skill tree. I still have reviews people don't even know because your skill tree astonishes me. That you can talk about this game without even learning any kind of skill tree on the abilities, but okay. Um, yeah, that's one aspect of the game as well to quickly switch between different abilities, different styles, and some people can do it so fast you don't even see it. I don't know what it is with my controller because I used to be able to do this. Like when I first started doing this, I was always like do this so fast. I don't have an enemy, that's why it's working that way. Yeah, I think it was just a way to turn this off, like not to see this. Just turn on R1 plus R1 shit, and yeah, just turn that off. Ah, I don't know why. I don't know if I think it might be input delay because I'm not playing in performance mode. That might be it. Maybe I was playing in performance mode, able to do that instantly without that popping up. But I've heard people just input delay in quality, and I'm on ray tracing mode right now. That's why this looks so good. And also have HDR on for this. Big factor why this looks so good. Um, that's one thing as well, and that is useful in dodging as well. To dodge boss attacks that you don't see coming really quickly. Um, so that's another aspect of the game. Like the weight is there, the combat is not that easy. Until I've heard that you can't see right above you. It's just like me, like whatever. I mean, like I said, you are a mage, you're supposed to be in constant motion. Someone needs to bother you. Don't look up. Just don't look up like, herb, I'm a Dark Souls player. I want to jump attack you with my sword. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. You don't do that. You're a mage. You just like round the way, boom, you throw the sword at them. Like you're supposed to be in constant motion, right? So like even if maybe they shouldn't have done that, may make you look right above you. It's like against electrical fire enemies. I'm like, you're supposed to be on the motion anyway. And I feel like the game wants to force you into that. Like game wants you to know, like, hey, you're a highly mobile mage. That's why it rewards you for using parkour abilities, right? That's why you get like attack level 3, just like parkour and then like attacking, right? Because the game is trying to teach you like you want to be in the mood to maximize all these different combos and abilities that you have with parkour, and you're gonna get more parkour abilities in the game, right? And there's a certain level of stamina management in the game, especially with the parkour as well. That I'll get into next as well. So parkour, right? So you have in this demo have a decent amount of parkour abilities. The main ones that I mentioned are zip, which I'm doing right now. Um, which you can do on these rocks that some people try to break in some reviews. These rocks stand for breaking. Therefore, I'm zipping. Um, that's one thing you can do. Um, there's also shimmy. And each has its own use, both in traversal and in combat. Um, you have shimmy, you have rush, and you have soar, but soar isn't such a big deal. Um, I'll say one thing you gotta understand is that the parkour doesn't play for you, right? You control your character's parkour. If you're climbing walls, you gotta want to position a place where you can find edges to stand off on. You can climb those walls easier, right? That's something that some people don't do. But yeah, so when I tap the circle, unless you turn it on auto in the menu, I can go here. Uh, I think you can zip to the ground to like prevent fall. If you fall to the ground with like no stamina, you take fall damage. But if you have stamina, doesn't matter how high you jump. If once you make it to the ground, you get like shield break, but you're out of stamina at the end. That might leave you a bit vulnerable depending on where you land. Um, but the parkour. So shimmy, at least when you just start the demo, shimmy is a tool for conserving your stamina. Right? If you use shimmy, you'll be in flow, but you will not use any stamina. Why this is good in combat? Because if you're waiting for an ability to go off cooldown, if you're not trying to get into a favorable position, you do not have much stamina left. You want to conserve stamina for like a specific ability, like maybe whether it's this, whether it's this, because if you use one stamina bar, you can shimmy. Shimmy won't restore your stamina, but it will maintain it at its current pace. Once you do the spellcraft challenges, I'll talk about spellcraft challenges is next. But once you do the spellcraft challenges, with shimmy will restore your stamina per jump, one little square per jump. Um, for rush, it will completely restore your stamina fully. So rush, you do this, you tap circle at the right time, you get a boost, and you restore one stamina bar. If you're just starting the demo, you complete the spellcraft challenge, it restores your full bar. This is useful to restoring your stamina, especially in the full world, because zip, when you first start the game, zip contains one little bar to do, so it's not free, right? So you go into this with like one bar, running, so keep your stamina like there. But right now it causes 0 to stamina to zip for me. Oh god, I don't want to be here. I don't want to fight these guys. It costs 0 stamina for me to zip because I did a spellcraft challenge, but when you start a demo, it won't cost 0 stamina. Um, so you would want to rush while running, not shimmy, rush. So you can restore your stamina before meeting like these little thingies. And once you have enough stamina, you know how many times you're gonna zip. You can make sure to zip. So you have enough stamina, but it's gonna cost 1 square each. So like there's little mini games to the parkour. And that's this stamina thing is something you're gonna manage both while traversing the world and while while like in combat, right? Because you rely on magic for it to be in like I say, you want to be in constant movement, constant motion. You don't want to ever run out of stamina while fighting in this game, right? So that's one thing to keep in mind. The game, yeah, so that's parkour. I think this parkour and the combat are the two biggest strengths to this game. I think that's what they're trying to do, and they did them very well. I would give them an 8 to 9 out of 10 based on my experience playing this game for like 30 plus hours so far. Um, Spellcraft challenges, I think I just mentioned those. They are basically challenges you do to unlock your skills, unlock upgrades to your skills, and I definitely recommend doing those even in the demo. And one of the big reasons why is because some of these spellcraft challenges teaches you how to use your abilities properly. Right? So one of them is for burst run and for burst draw. There's it says target behind an enemy, like kill an enemy from behind, right? Now you can do that by running behind on an enemy, like parkouring against them and like killing them from behind, or like using something like bind, run up on them, and then use this from behind or something like that, right? You can do that, or you can aim right behind them, and then we'll explode behind them, deal damage, right? You have one which shows you where you go like counter X many times. Have one with rush. Have one with this where you go kill X many flying enemies, and that's where you learn, hey, this is good against flying enemies, right? Stuff like that. So just those tons are helpful, like improving your abilities, because certain abilities get really strong without them. I recommend upgrading their parkour abilities first on an easy time. But regular abilities, they just help you learn how to use them effectively. Like there's this fire ability, I didn't understand how it's supposed to use, right? This fire, fire trap, right? So fire trap only best used when enemies knocked down, right? But you leave this simmering hole here, and if the enemy is knocked down when you use this, you just be laying in there, you get max damage rather than just lying there. Right? That's one thing I learned that you could do while playing doing the while doing those Spellcraft challenges, right? It taught me something about the game. That's why I say it took me 10 hours for this game to click, combat to click fully for me. Not that it took me 10 hours to like understand the combat, understand what these developers are trying to like do to get a flow, but to understand all the mechanics and aspects of this combat and how they all intertwine together. It definitely took me like 10 to 20 hours of playing this game, doing the Spellcraft challenges, etc. Like reading all the abilities, tutorials, etc. Getting the hang of this game. Um, One more criticism of this game. Um, the world is dull. Um, I agree and disagree with this one because the world, yeah, that's so kind of plain. And maybe just because I'm playing in ray tracing HDR mode. I played in both ray tracing HDR mode and the regular mode in this game on HDR. Without HDR, this game the place just looks dark and dull. I don't know if that's an intentional design choice, but I don't think the design of this place is necessarily dull like it's talk like a tech demo like some people suggested. I think it's intentional. I listened to the some developer talks and they said the place at least this outlet at least seems at least from what I've seen seems to be the big design of Romania. And yeah, that is true. Go look up pictures of Romania, and there's a lot of similarities between outlet and this style looking stuff people complain about what Romania looks like. It's not like a tech them. I feel like they put an effort into this. And playing HDR mode, it does look really beautiful. Um, that still look really beautiful, and this wall looks still looks, but it still looks really beautiful and crisp. Um, anyway, so yeah, the wall could be dull for some people, especially when I'm playing HDR mode. So that's what it is. I think. I mean, yeah, the world can look dull, but there's some really unique and fun aspects to the world. So it's like whatever. I think I'm gonna fall. Yeah, so there's some unique and fun aspects to the world. Um, yeah, is the world boring and empty? This I don't disagree with, right? It's empty in the same way wherever the world is empty, the same way all the ring is empty. That's when it's not empty at all. And what I mean is that you see all this empty space, and you're like, oh, this place is empty. But what do you mean by that? Do you mean there's no NPCs? Well, there's no NPCs, and no NPCs are inside Power, right? It's all the lore in this game. Like, Prey's the only one who can like explore this outside world without being affected by the breaks. She's the only NPC you'll be seeing while exploring the world, aside from like the main bosses and like the dragons and break beasts and dungeons you would come across, right? Most of the NPCs interactors will be inside PAL. The side quests you will see will be inside PAL. And because this demo is set inside PAL, you don't see any NPCs. I mean, this is what it is. Doesn't mean there aren't NPCs in the game, just means there aren't NPCs in these parts of the game. Um, and while some of why people say this is empty, I mean, it's no different from Elder Ring. It's like there are enemies everywhere. Right? It's just about fighting these enemies. Like so, it's so like also like that place in Elden Ring where all the tarnished you meet are. Yeah, so like that. So those tarnished can't go into the outside world. Like just that round table place in Elden Ring. I'm like, it's not that different from other rings. So I'm like, why people saying it's empty? And the probably reason why it's people saying it's empty is that lots of the open world content isn't in this game, right? Look at the map here. Um, open the legend and legend. Um, there's a lot of shit that you see here that aren't that you see on this demo map that aren't in this demo. There's trading spots. I mean, I guess those are just trading. Too big a deal. This thing called Cognizance Guild. I mean, those are like gold towers, like enemies that I've heard about. There are log labyrinths, so like dungeons that I heard about. There's Tanta's Gate. There's Relic of the Tantas. Monuments we know about. There's a Sci-Fi, which we haven't been here. Let me see where it is. No. This Tanta's Castle. Like, can't even see where Sci-Fi is. Well, just like how like much of the lore they are hiding in this game. There's Tanta's Castle, there's Mutant, there's Miscellaneous. And there's one thing below Miscellaneous if I go back here. There's one thing below Miscellaneous. Um, so there's also a random events as well that I didn't know about. Whatever the hell that is, I don't know what the hell that is. So there's this random ish in the open world that isn't in this game at all that we do not know about, right? Because this demo is meant to explore the open world of this game, so I understand criticism for that. Like this game is not this demo is not an exploration of the open world of this game. It's an exploration of the combat and reversal, which are the biggest strengths of this game. Now, how the open world looks when the game gets if it's bland, and yeah, we can criticize that, but the devs didn't make this demo for you to be like, ooh, look at this amazing ass open world with all this cool shit to do. No, it's more like, hey, here's a combat, here's a traversal. Do you like it? Do you enjoy it? Here's free reign to do whatever you want and like gain good understanding of the combat before the actual game comes out. You know, that's so like how I understand the devs' intentions for this game. Um, yeah, so like we're on some different things for this game. So like, yeah, open world in the demo. This what it is. Doesn't mean it's representative of the full game necessarily. I think the graphics look great, at least in ray tracing, HDR mode I have on. Yeah, I mean it could be better, but I'm like this looks fine to me. Like I mean, it's not like horrible or trash. And yeah, in my honest opinion, I think it can be improved, and I believe the full game is gonna be way better than this. Um, especially from the playthroughs and showcase gameplay showcases I've seen of most recent footage, is probably gonna be better than this. Because it's an old demo. This demo is at least 4 months old, from what we know. At least 4 months old. So I think people should give them some slack on that. We should give them some slack on that. I feel, but it is what it is for the open world. Like, like I said. Um, yeah. So back to the full map. Like I'm personally excited for the full map of this game because what we have with this demo feels like less than 1/20th of this full map. So I'm personally excited to explore it. See what kind of dragons fight we have, what kind of events we have, what kind of break beasts and boss battles we get. And that's what I'm most excited about in this game: the combo, the traversal, the world, the story. I feel like everything's gonna be good and exciting. Speaking of the story, we can transition to there because this game's story, writing, dialogue has gotten a lot of criticism. And I feel a little bit this was warranted, right? What I mean by that is that I feel like started with like one trailer where this character was very talking like a very isekai sort of style, where it was like, ooh, I can do that, I can move shit with my mind or something like that. I don't know. Wasn't too into that. I didn't really know when this began. But I mean, playing the game. Oh shit. Um, my bad. Playing the game, the dialogue is barely noticeable to me, right? It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal to me, my honest opinion. It's very noticeable, and when you put it on the high, you can hear some really unique dialogues from what I've heard. I have this on the high right now, in case you didn't know, and I've barely noticed this while playing this entire time. Like, I feel like people overblow this. Like, it's not like so. Even if it's cringe, like not so cringe, where it's like you can't just ignore it. It's like I've I'm like my entire mind is blank to the dialogue anyway, from what I've seen. Like, it's very noticeable. And from the cinematic of the story I've seen, it's not really representative of how Frey really acts in the story beats of the game, right? Because this is just her like walking through the random open wall, just saying whatever, because she just talks to Calf, who is extremely sarcastic. If you look at the exclusive gameplay of the early parts of the game, look at those showcases, swore water is real beautiful, I don't know what's real. But this is part of the game. She's not cringe at all. She's a very likable person. She's not rude at all. Like, like the story is this girl like gets transported to this world, and these people even try to kill her. They try to kill her, but she still decides to like help them out. She's the only one who can walk out of the break unaffected anyway. Like, I do not see what is so shitty about that character in terms of her personality. Just that she's brash. I mean, we're not even seeing the story. It's just like dialogue. Like people need to chill about that. It's just like the character dialogue, and yeah, she's not even like being intentionally. She's being sarcastic because the person she's talking to is also freaking sarcastic. So like I don't get that. I feel like the hate for Frey as a character, if the dialogue, this feels extremely oriented, and I don't know where that's coming from. Yeah, it's just like I mean, like why I understand you don't like it, but that's no reason to like hate a game. Like, ooh, like all games have cringe dialogue. Like, have you seen Aloy? I mean, I remember the first Horizon with the shitty looking um what was it? She looking like NPC looks and everything. Like, that shit ain't cringe. Like, I don't know what you guys um losing your mind about. It's just a video game dialogue for a story. It's not even like the main story dialogue either. Like, if extrapolate and what they want to extrapolate from what isn't enough information about the game. And you see that with the demo, where people are like, "Oh, this in the demo. There's no this in the demo." So the open world is empty in the demo, so it has to be empty in the full game. Oh, the dialogue is cringe in the demo, so the story must be bad. It's cringe in this trailer, so the story must be bad. When that's not the case, the story's cinematic, but they haven't decided to watch or see. If you know what I mean. So it's like, yeah, it is what it is. Oops. Let me fight these guys. Yeah, that is the story and dialogue. I just think that's it. I think that's the last thing I wanted to talk about, right? I mean, there's other parts of the combat that I just sort of skipped over because I did that in the first version. I don't feel like talking about it all too much. I did definitely feel the combat has no way. I do not feel like the combat is clunky. I feel like controls work perfectly for this game. Sort of like little side things you can do in this game, spellcraft challenges, dungeons. Dungeons aren't in this demo, but at least spellcraft challenges are in this demo. I like the specs of this game. I feel like traversal is really good in this game. It's a major part of the game, both in the gameplay and the combat. Like I said, you're a highly mobile mage. You're constantly supposed to be moving, switching abilities, like etc. Like you don't just go in the game and spam out. No, that's not how you play this game. You do like a style grade E, even on easy mode. Like this is hard mode, and you can't do that. And like even live, especially if you just started them and put in hard mode. I'm like level 52 and I can still die in hard mode. Um, I'm playing this game for 30 hours and I can still make a mistake and die even in hard mode. Um, so yeah, um, this game doesn't feel as easy. I feel the combat is complex. The traversal, everything is good. Open world, yes, in the demo is dull, but the demo is not representative of the full game. As it's now, you can look at a full map. There's a lot of things there that aren't in this demo. Um, Story and dialogue. I think the story we have to wait to see how good it is. Dialogue, I mean, it's very noticeable for me. And like people might have it different, but I don't think that's like good enough reason to show a game short. Like let's call it the gameplay, which is what is going to decide whether this game like is good. There's two major factors. One is going to like break break this game or like make it sell goals. The gameplay and the story, right? I feel like I don't think the open world matters that much. I feel like the open world will be good enough, but gameplay and the story is where I feel like most of the focus is on for this game. I feel like those both of those from I used to like gonna be at least an 8 to 9. I feel like this game is going to be over an 8, maybe even a 9, depending on how well they execute these other parts of the game. The combat itself is already an 8 to 9 for me. So is the wrestle, and this is like half the skill tree of the game. Um, so I'm definitely excited for this game. Um, so yeah, definitely looking forward to see what we get. That's what I mean by you gotta lock on like one-on-one so you don't lose track of those enemies. Like it's gonna be parkour and even in fights against multiple enemies, you're gonna be switching like who you're targeting. You're not just gonna target one enemy and call it in, right? Right. So I'm just gonna fight this guy. This is probably gonna be the last part of the video. This fight, whether I die or not, I might die, because even though I'm like 20, at least 20, 30 levels of a level, compared to where you will be in the actual demo, right? Guys, I tried to like use my ultimate there, but I can't do that in the air, so I can't mess that up. I'm not feel safe here. Actually, I can't do bind here, so I'm gonna do this. Yeah. The AI of this boss is very smart. If I attack it, yeah, it's gonna respond with its solo attack really quickly. Also, using this ultimate doesn't leave you invulnerable, by the way. You can still get hit while using that and charging that up. That's one thing to keep in mind about this game. Oh my fucking, I'm probably gonna die here. Oh god. Almost a bit scared. Right now, I have a parkour set to toggle. I'm just gonna like run around till I get recharged so I don't have to risk it. And this is like one thing. This wall doesn't have like any undodgeable attacks, right? So I don't have to worry about doing this. Oh my fucking god. Oh fuck. I might want to give this one more try. Um, want to skip over this. You can do that. But this boss is not any real unblockable attacks. So that, well, I mean, this is just like a simple as boss for this game, and he's still difficult. Like I don't know, if he was saying this game is easy and just spam R2. You cannot spam R2 against this guy. And there's gonna be way more difficult bosses than this guy in this game. So like I'm personally like really excited. And I honestly wasn't playing that the best either. Also putting some risky moves, right? But yeah, this video is like 50 minutes long. We'll see if I kill this guy. I wish I had taken the sword. I feel like I'm so more used to the sword. I stretch my abilities a bit to like favor earth magic. So having like on spec them back. So most of my points are in earth right now. Shit. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, that was my mistake. So yeah, so if you wanna get a max DPS against that guy to finish that fight quickly, um, that's just something you're gonna have to do. Um, it's a little difficult. It's not easy. You can just bomb behind you, like spam attacks and run away, but that's gonna give you a low score, and it's also gonna take way longer. Right? I think I have videos of my channel fighting that boss. I think I've been like beating him in 3 minutes. Um, that's the lower level than now from those videos, and yeah, a lot of strategy thinking. All of these fights, even in hard mode. So we fight these guys. Like end the video. I'm gonna just explode them. Like that's enough. Well, I could find like the miniature version of this boss, but I can find him over here. So let's see. Let me have 3 minutes before this video ends. Okay, let's fight the fucking deer. Nah, gears, lane. Let's fight this guy. See if I can beat him like minutes. This. Oh, okay. That really was miraculously fast. Ray, stay with me. This game is really beautiful. I am putting the graphics with this game, but I'm like, this game is beautiful in its own right, you know? Like, I don't know, what was there in that? I don't think what I'm looking for is that direction. Okay, I'm gonna skip a bit. Also, one thing I do wish was added in the full game is it's a bit faster to shimmy. Like, once you get this 12 crouch Holland, there's no reason for you to use rush almost ever. So I wish they improved the speed and burst of rush, so there's more reason for you to go that over using shimmy. But it's what it is. I hope I'm moving in the right direction. I noticed where boss is. Back and something I forgot to mention. So the place I want to go, okay, it's right here. It's a little mini boss over here. But one thing I forgot to mention that you can turn off the icons on the map, right? If you turn off the icons on the map, um, Just for a bit more immersion. If you want all the icons in the map, you won't see them on the map or in the game, so you won't know what something is. And it allows for a little bit more immersion. That's what I plan to do in the full game to prevent you from like, getting all these items. Even though you turn these off, I think there's a belfry somewhere. Oh, there. Oh, that's just there. I'm on the belfry. Just go on the belfry over here. Right. The only icons I will see are the ones that I clicked on the map or on the belfry. Right. So now I can set my own markers here or remove them as I wish. Right. So that's the belfry for you. I can move that a bit to the left here. Okay. Yeah, you can not see what all this that unnecessary icons are. All the add that as like an option in the game, so like an Assassin's Creed exploration mode, so you don't have to like Google to figure this out. People don't like to explore these settings and menus of games. Um, this game is so beautiful in HDR. Like God, oh my God! Once I fix the HDR for this game, it is so beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, this is a game people are shitting on the graphics on. It's the demo. I know the full game is probably better than this from what I've seen. So I'm really excited graphically for this game. Like I feel like this game is gonna be a game that surprised a lot of people. Okay, this is what I mean like the boss you face in this demo is like a real boss. It's like a hyped out version of a regular mob in the world. Like you probably face this mob with like a bunch of different crocodiles in the world. It's not fighting one on one. I probably want to like walk on. Oops. Honestly, not playing the best here, because I'm a bit rusty. So I'm fighting this guy instead of the actual boss, but that's what it is. Good. Yeah, so little aspects to the combat I feel, and the more you play the combat, the more smoother it gets, less clunky it gets. My bad. That's what I mean to do that. Oh, on cooldown. Ah, one thing I forgot to mention as well is the gear system of this game. I'm also really personally excited for that. One of the big reasons I'm excited for that is the nail system. I feel like the gear system is kind of basic, so let me go to it. You have these nails, you have these cloaks. You can basically give any attribute to any of them. Can increase your magic, health, etc. for any of those. Once you gain a new cloak, and that cloak has specific ability, you can put on any cloak from what I understand. Um, I'm sure there might be some unique cloaks you can get in the full game. I do not know. Nothing too crazy there with the gear. With the crafting, you can upgrade the gear to whatever you want, any gear, so you don't have to like be tied to wear a specific cloak. Don't forget, yeah, like style over function. You can do. It's not style over function or function over style. It's styleless function. I guess you say so, like that. There's also like these nails. The nails what I'm excited about. So you see blue flash. Make sure your attack spells charge more quickly. So if you haven't been noticing, I've been charging my attack spells charge really quickly, right? I just charge them normally. They charge really fast. I have the nails equipped, two of them, so they charge double fast. But it's like I do 10% less damage as a result. But one thing I'm curious about is would there be like what kind of more new customizations the full game have? Like there is no reason for me to charge like this. Once I just want to spam, cause versus like moving and doing this, like oh why would I like so much faster? I'm still getting the exact same amount of damage, right? But whenever it's a nail, that will like make you do like maybe 5% more damage if you charge it. Or it when like charge like you do this, maybe like 10% more damage instead of doing this. That wouldn't give me any extra damage. If you were a nail like that, that would be an interesting combo. Like that's one thing I'm interested about is in what kind of nail combination we could use, etc. Like what kind of builds would they be out for this game? Just like nails, cloaks, cloak abilities, etc. Um, Also, you can see an enemy, you can scan the area, see what enemies aggro. I know that Crucible is like when you charge an ability, but that pass like fully charged ability. So we'll see what kind of strategies there are in this game once it fully comes out. What kind of nails there are, what kind of shit you can learn. Hopefully it'll be a lot customized. But we don't know. The game isn't out yet. We'll have to do this demo. That's what it is. Okay. Let me just play lazily because I haven't been this while. I'm tired. Like I've been recording for like 2 hours now, over 2 hours now. So yeah. Anyways, see ya. This is my review of Forspoken, the combat, story, dialogue, the world, my perspective on this demo and the criticism that this game gets. I personally just think this game is gonna be at least an eight when it comes out, in my honest opinion. Based on what I've seen of the demo, the actual game, story, traversal, open world content, I'm confident this game is gonna be at least an 8 to 10. I personally pre-ordered this game uh, after playing the demo and understanding the combat and the mechanics. Um, really getting an understanding of this game. Also pre-ordered Hogwarts Legacy as well. I'm excited for both games. I might probably prefer this game a bit more because of the magic combat. I'm more excited for this game because of the magic combat. Excited for Hogwarts Legacy because I heard for the world. I'm quite interested in it. This game, when it comes to the combat, when it comes to the world, I feel like I'm more excited for this game. And I feel like this game is gonna surprise a lot. Like the amount I hate this game, yes, and how much it's being put down. It's gonna be like the reverse Cyberpunk, in my honest opinion. Where it's like we're probably gonna push it down, so it's gonna end up surprising a lot of people. It's gonna end up being a great game, in my opinion. So, it's me logging out, playing Forspoken. Ciao.